good tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, have I missed all of you? Over a week I have been gone, but for all the right reasons we'll get into on tomorrow's show. But this is Primetime Live. I am your boy, the coach, and I am back tonight. It's the Lions going on the road to San Francisco, a rematch of last year's NFC title game, a game that saw the Detroit Lions go up by 17, and then Dan Campbell doing what Dan Campbell does and going for it on fourth down, and ultimately the 49ers coming back. Now, here's the interesting thing, and by the way, I see you all in the chat, and you guys are on fire. Hit that like button for me on the way in. So next week is everything. Next Sunday night, Primetime Live, we'll be counting down to the number 1 seed. It can't get any better than that. The Lions and the Vikings. So tonight means nothing. Or does it? Because Dan Campbell was asked that exact question, and he gave us this exact answer.
I'll make this easy for everybody. That way all the critics can jump out and start attacking. But that way you don't have to debate them anymore. We're bringing everything we got to this game, and we are playing, and I don't care what it looks like and where it's at or who's this, who's that. We're going out to play and win this game out on the West Coast. So there you go.
And that is what you call a competitor. That is what you call somebody who wants to get it done and doesn't want to take a night off. So if you're wondering if the bets could go, if you're wondering if props could go, the answer is a resounding yes. Now, you guys know, as we head towards the first of the year, I got the best damn crew in the business. So without further ado, it's time for the picks. I see John, I see Jared, I see everybody in the chat, and I see these 3 beautiful faces. So one by one, I will say my thank yous. First and foremost, he held it down as he always does. We're coming up on a year. My partner, my 5-tool player, AB. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, crew. Good evening, boys. Look, man, it's so good to have you back, buddy. Like, it's just not the same without you, man. It's just not the same.
I appreciate that. And believe me, I am tired of sitting in a hospital. I'd rather sit in this damn chair every damn night. Now, this man filled in for me in resounding fashion. Can't thank him enough. He's our man live from Memphis, Tennessee. DG, good evening, sir.
What's up, Coach? Glad to have you back. Finally, you return. But I will have to say, pull the curtain back completely. It is so hard to actually host, I promise you, because if somehow this whole train gets off the tracks, you have to fill time, and you got to keep everybody going the right way. It is very hard. So, one, kudos to you. You make this look so easy, but glad to have you back for sure.
Well, we're getting ready for a big year, so I thank you. Now, this man, he literally texted me every single day to see how my dad was doing in the hospital. Can't thank him enough. He's our numbers guy for a reason. Please welcome in Rafael Esparza. Good evening, Rafael.
Good evening, Coach. Welcome back. Good evening, crew. But you know what? DG, fantastic job he did. AB, fantastic job he did. Producer man, fantastic job. So we all stepped up, and it was great, but love to see you back here.
Real quick, did we cash any tickets today, AB, this afternoon before we even get into primetime? Did we hit a little over as I was at 37,000 feet this morning? Did I see that on social media correctly?
You did, Coach. A lovely Music City Bowl live from Nashville, just down the street. Had the over of 40. They had 35 points at halftime.
Wow. Sweat-free is what we like to call it. And hopefully tonight we have a lot of those as well. So, gentlemen, if we don't have anything else to pat ourselves on the back, let's get into it tonight. The number's already rising. Great live number already. Tonight, it's the Lions at the 49ers. The 49ers, they were eliminated over a week ago. They are done. But what about pride? What about playing tonight and trying to ruin somewhat of a party? So, AB, I'm going to start with you because the Lions, the number has kind of stayed right there at 3.5. The total is what it is at 50.5. Do you believe Dan Campbell? Because if you do, I love the Lions, and I'm going to buy it down to 3. What are you going to do with these numbers?
So, number one, I do believe Dan Campbell 100%, even if he didn't say it. Dan Campbell is playing for something. He always is, right? But here's the deal. College football, we call this a trap game, all right? You've got the season on the line in regards to you could end up being the number 1 seed, or you could be down there at 6 and not even have a home game. NFL teams don't look ahead, but how do you not? And especially if this game quote unquote doesn't mean something, and you got to go all the way to the West Coast and play a physical team with a quarterback that's playing for a contract, look out, buddy.
I know. It feels like to me, DG, that part of the reason that Dan Campbell has put it out on Front Street that he wants his squad coming in to win this football game. Because a couple of weeks ago, they didn't play very good football. Last week, they played the Bears. I think he doesn't want his team to take the foot off the gas pedal, knowing what the Vikings looked like last night, and they're waiting next week. I think it's a preventative measure. What about you?
I absolutely agree. I think you get ahead of it, kind of getting ahead of the story in a sense. And so he went ahead and put himself out there and said, hey, we're going into San Francisco and we're going to bring everybody with us and we're going to play well. I think that this team is going to mirror exactly what the coach says. And because of that, I really like the Detroit Lions tonight. I think that they have a chance to go in and kind of stomp out San Francisco for good this season.
Shout out to Jared. He said, fun stat, Lions haven't won in San Francisco since before Dan Campbell was born and before ESPN was a thing, and ESPN launched in 1979. So, Raphael, that's a lot of numbers. I'm coming over to you. What do you make of the fact that this number has stayed flat for the entire week?
It stayed flat for the whole week, but not right now because there's fours popping up all over. BetMGM just moved it to 4. DraftKings just moved it to 4. Almighty Circa moved it to 4. So the money is coming in. And this game right here is Joes versus pros. The Joes all love the plus money. The wise guys all love the Lions. So who's going to win this battle? Who's going to win this? Total get no action, but I can see probably a solid 4s by kickoff.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because the Lions could play in the first half, and then they could be up 21-0 and then not play in the second half. So I wouldn't touch this total with a 10-foot pole. But if you're new to primetime, where the hell have you been? We only got 1 week left, but we do our straight picks here, and then the one and only no-fly zone, then our props later on in the show. So, AB, I want to start with you because I know you got one big play tonight. Where are you headed, sir?
Yes, sir. Now, Coach, you just asked a good question. What happens if the Lions get up? Do they call the dogs off in the second half? What happens if the 49ers get up in the first half and make you make a real decision on if you're going to play or not? That's why I'm taking the 49ers team touchdowns over 2.5 here, minus 125. Look, they could get this in cleanup time if they're down, or they could lay it on you thick because, again, this game might decide, Brock Purdy, are you going to be worth $100 million? All right, generational money, or are we just going to throw you some change? You could stay minimum wage there in the NFL. These boys are playing for something too. Remember that.
I'm so glad you said that because our Sunday show coming up is going to be a lot about the games that have players in them that have incentives in the contracts. You guys saw Zach Ertz last night, that touchdown late, that made him $750,000 in incentives. There's still a lot of players. Brock Purdy is one of them. AB, you are absolutely right. Now, how about a little, is this a teaser? Are you teasing me tonight, Raphael? You are.
Yeah, we're doing a little 7-point teaser. We're taking the Lions plus 3.5. I like the Lions tonight, but giving me plus 3.5, I'll take it. And the over 43.5 because I do believe the Lions will throw the ball, and I think it's going to be a pass-happy game because I think Purdy is going to want to throw the ball as well. Now, I'll throw some stats out there. The 49ers are 5-14 against the spread in their last 19 games. You know what they're doing right now? They're planning their vacations to Cancun after the game. That's what they're doing. And then Monday Night Football, you know who has had some success on Monday Night Football? The Lions. They're 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 Monday Night Football games.
I'm so glad you said that. This is a true story, by the way. When I was at ESPN, a lot of the players will come in. I asked them about the whole Cancun and do you really schedule your vacations? And one guy said not only do they schedule them early, but there are places that give them NFL deals if they do it before January 1st. True story. So that is real. Now, DG, you know what else is real? Alternative lines. You are very confident, so you want to turn that even money or minus 110 into plus money. Explain yourself.
Yeah, last season you get a bad taste in your mouth. In the NFC Championship game, San Francisco stomped out Detroit 34-31. Well, just last week we heard from the coach, Dan Campbell, say you get used to eating filet and everything's good. Life's good, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing and you ate your bleeping molded bread and it was just fine. It gave you everything to need. So we're going with the molded bread play of the night. And that's going to be Lions minus 6.5 at plus 148. I love the Lions to roll tonight.
I kind of do too. As much as we want to say the 49ers are going to show up. Guys, they just lost by 12 to the Dolphins. I think it was 12. I know it was 29-17, I believe was the score. The 49ers are done. I don't care what Nick Bosa says about being a pro. I don't care what George Kittle says about, man, I want to play for Dan Campbell or a guy like Dan Campbell. Their season is over. They were Super Bowl favorites, and they ain't going nowhere. Now, AB already mentioned it. The Lions have their franchise quarterback. Jared Goff has gotten paid. On the other side, Brock Purdy wants to get paid. And so do we, by the two quarterbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is week freaking 17. And we have not missed one single week all season long. There is only one no-fly zone.
Brock Purdy, coach, I believe, is the only quarterback in the NFL that has a roommate. All right, I think he's ready to be done with that. He sees everybody else rich and says, please, Lord, why not me? All right, that's why you're going to see a big one tonight. Now, let's take a look at the board here and the teams that we have. Understand them. Points per game, Lions first. All right, points per game allowed, 7th. All right, average time of possession, 3rd. The Lions just choke you out like a boa constrictor. They just take you out of the game. You just cannot play. That is going to be a key tonight. 49ers, not bad, but not great. All right, 22 points per game. They actually give up more than they scored this year, but they're big on time of possession as well. Watch for that tonight, who wins the time of possession battle. But passing offenses, both top 10. But look at the Lions passing defense, 28th. That sticks out like a sore thumb. And the Niners, 3rd. Rushing offense, top 10, 11. All right. And then whatever for rush defense, top 10 for the Lions, 16th for the 49ers. Now let's get into why and how these two teams are going to operate. First up, Jared Goff. All right. This is against the Chicago Bears. And over the last 3 to 4 games, Jared Goff has been throwing the ball way more than he normally does and has all season long. He had 50 attempts the other night. All right. Now, 23 of 32, 336, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But what I want you to see, all right, white dots are incomplete passes. Green dots are complete passes. Blue lines are touchdowns. Look at the 5-yard line and in. He threw it 32 times, and what, 6 of them were beyond 5 yards, right, coach? Like, this is safe. And that's against the Bears, all right? They play safe. And no David Montgomery anymore. You're down to just Jahmyr Gibbs. But look at that touchdown pass. You see it behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to see a short passing game from the Lions. Use it as a de facto run game. Time of possession is exactly what they want. Flip it over here, and you'll see the trouble areas. Look at this 49ers secondary rankings. And this is with everything they've gone through this year. Deep left, 1st in the NFL. Deep right, 1st in the NFL. Deep mid, last in the NFL. But throwing across the middle deep is tough. And I think that's where they could get him. But if Jared Goff's going to throw a pick, it's going to be 10 yards and in. Over to the left, over to the right. Pay attention to that. Now, the game scripts you'll see from the Lions, if they choose to play tonight, which I do think they will. All right, own the time of possession. That's your best friend. Brock Purdy and all the weapons they have, they can't beat you when they're on the sideline. They don't get the ball. That's how the Lions win games. 6 yards and in, passing game. Keep it safe. Don't turn the ball over and give free points to the 49ers. If they're going to score, make them go 80 yards to do it. Heavy screen game. You're going to see it to the running backs. You'll essentially see it to the tight ends. All right. It's not exactly a screen pass, but that's the kind of passing attack that you will see. He'll throw deep some, but you're going to see a lot of short passes and yak. And don't abandon the run. Okay. You need it. You got to run the football. It's going to be tough because San Francisco can stop you with that, but don't abandon it. 3.5 stars for Jared Goff to throw a pick. Now, Brock Purdy, Mr. Roommate. All right. He wants to be rich too. And he is going to come out tonight and look at his passing chart. All right. This is against the Dolphins here. Brock Purdy can make throws, man. Now, his passing attack is 5 yards and in as well. And look at him behind the line of scrimmage, especially now that they're down to 3rd string, 4th string running backs. You're going to see 2 similar attacks. But the Lions secondary, see it on the left here? They're very good. All right. Against the short passing game. Deep, they could get you, or you can get them. All right. They're number one in the NFL, deep mid, but Brock Purdy doesn't throw deep mid. He'll hit you on the boundaries, intermediate left and right, and do that tonight. Now, his trouble areas are going to be exactly what you think. Look at that, flip it over, and exactly where, yep, right there. Deep mid, deep right, intermediate right. Tough spots for Purdy. All right. Short left, that's going to be tough as well. But what I want you to see here, all right, look at the green, okay? Bottom right, line of scrimmage behind it, right where Purdy's at the line of scrimmage, all right? And then to the left. Brock Purdy, just like a right-handed quarterback, right-handed pitcher, all right? When he's going from right to left, that's exactly what he wants to do. And watch the passing attack tonight. Flip over to the game scripts because you're going to see exactly this. Remember those green dots, all right? Linebacker rope-a-dope. Run the football, bring them up, throw it over their heads, put them back deep. That's the name of the game tonight for San Francisco. You're going to see a ton of pre-snap motion, wide receivers, running backs, all in motion here because that's what San Francisco does. All right, deep passes left. When you're throwing to the right, throw a slant. Intercontinental routes, meaning you're going to go from one side of the field all the way to the over. All right, short on the right side and let the yak game go. Watch the right to left passing from Purdy tonight. All right, force the Lions to make a decision. Well, Coach, you brought it up. Score on them early. Make them make the decision. You want to play in this game or you not? All right, you going to keep Jared Goff out here or are you not? That's how you go about handling your business. Score early, get a lead. 3.5 stars for Purdy to throw a pick as well.
I think you all know what time it is. Producer man, I think I need that
We
shot.
missed this.
I didn't even get to do it for the holidays. But after that, and if you're new to the brand, your mind is not playing tricks on you. There is nobody else that can do that. So I have one very simple question for all of you, and feel free to do it with me. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. Now, Joe says, do you think AB rehearses this? He's so smooth. I've never asked you that question. Do you rehearse the no-fly zone, AB?
Hell no. No, that thing got finished about 39 minutes ago. So, no, there was no rehearsing at all. But we watch a lot of film on these quarterbacks, right? Like we do it all throughout the week. So, no rehearsing, but we're ready to go.
It's unbelievable. It is so difficult. And I think, AB or DG said at the top of the show, what we do is kind of what we love to do, but it's so hard what we do. So we appreciate when you guys say that and you put it into the chat. Keep talking, keep chatting away. Hit that like button. The live number is really, really good. Only 18 minutes in. So DG, let me come over to you. Let's compare these two quarterbacks because I think that unders are where I'm looking just to be safe, either unders or stay away, specifically Purdy attempts. Your take.
Coach, I'm the opposite. I think this is going to be opening her up and let her fly. I think this is going to be a Jared Goff and Brock Purdy both going over their number. I just think that the Lions have some vitriol that they want to get off their chest and take it into San Francisco. And then San Francisco is kind of playing for their lives. They're playing for contracts. They're playing for pride. I think this game goes over, and I think it's going to be a lot of air yards.
Kyle Shanahan made it very, very clear. He is not sitting Brock Purdy for nothing, not to protect him, not to keep him healthy for a new contract, nothing. And, Raphael, if we get a game like that where both teams go out there and gasp, I don't know, actually play the game, this could be a hell of a lot of fun because last year in the playoffs, it was a phenomenal game. What do you make of the two quarterbacks? Your take?
I'll answer that question before. But I need to say this. Right now, 4 is all over the place. BetMGM has 4.5 right now. I'm thinking they probably took a 6-figure money line bet. I'm waiting for double confirmation because they have minus 275 on the money line. 4.5 should be about 250. So 25 cents means they probably got double popped on that money line. So they're trying to get it back on the other side. So I would not be shocked if Reese do see 4.5s before kickoff, just the way the money is coming in, because one offshore book has 4.5 as well. Now, compared to quarterbacks, Goff, give me some pass happy on that. I think Goff has a big game. DG, you like steak? Goff also likes steak, and he remembers that game as well. I think he has a big game. I think Brock Purdy, he'll have good numbers. I don't think passing numbers would be that high. I like his passing attempts low, but I think his longest pass, 37.5, looks really good.
The dreaded double pop. Oh, you hate that double pop. By the way, I see the chat asking what kind of a steak guy is the coach. I went to Texas Roadhouse last Thursday after I went with my kids and my mother to Mufasa, and I had a New York strip, or as they serve in Kansas City, and Big Cheesy knows all about this one, the Kansas City strip. AB, what say you on the steak choice?
You know, a ribeye is not bad. You know, anything that I can look, you can hand me one of them $2 steaks. Look, we'll eat it. All right. Might have to put a little extra butter on there. But no, man, I take it medium rare. That's how I like it. You ain't got to cook it a whole lot. I don't require too much. Just throw it on the plate, boy. We'll eat it.
You'll eat it. Channeling your inner JR right there. DG, what are you? Ribeye? Are you a T-bone or New York strip?
Coach, there's only one way to go. You got to go with the filet. It's the filet at
I knew you were a
rare.
guy.
Just
soft,
give me salt and pepper. That's all I need. That's it.
Oh, my
Just
God.
Give me the filet.
SAWFT, soft. Raphael, do you even eat steak? You seem more of like a soup guy to me.
Oh, steak. I always eat a lot of red meat, even though the doctor's probably not listening because I think he's on vacation. But, yeah, give me some steak all the time. And I like a porterhouse because I want some leftovers for steak and eggs in the morning.
Oh, my God. Does anybody remember The Great Outdoors, by the way? The great 96er, John Candy, God rest his soul. Oh, one of the great scenes in the history of movies. Oh, the old 96er. All right, so quarterbacks, if you choose to lean in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, do it under your own apparel. That didn't even make any sense. You know what I mean. At your own peril. That's what I meant to say. All right, we're going to have and see what AB thinks about the quarterbacks coming up very shortly because, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time to prop it up. B, as always, we're starting with you. And as I look, I see Jared Goff's name twice. You're up.
Yes, sir, Coach. And look, here's the deal. Brock Purdy, I think he could throw a pick. He's going to throw it all night tonight because if they're playing with a lead, that means he's thrown it all night. If they're playing from behind, he's going to be throwing it even more tonight. The biggest question is time of possession. That is the name of the game. But, Coach, you brought up a good point, and this is why I'm playing Deebo Samuel here. All right, taking him over 4.5 receptions at minus 105. And you know what the best point is that will be made on this show just came from you, and it's this. The 49ers 2 weeks ago just had a dude quit. So you cannot pull guys out of games. You can't ask to come out of games. Your ass is playing because that guy and everyone had to make a stink about it, which rightfully so. But now, you're finishing the season. Everybody is. So I like Deebo Samuel to finish the season right. 4.5 receptions over is a really good number for him. Very attainable. Ball's going to be there in the lot for San Francisco. Jared Goff, over 1.5 rush attempt. 1.5. Because I'll give it to Jared Goff. He's a tough-ass dude. He's a tough dude, and he thinks like Dan Campbell does. He ain't thinking about coming out of the game. All we need are two. Can we get there? All right. Just a little first down run, kneel down at halftime. Go ahead and get it on out. All right, then finally. Yeah, sorry, Goff. You're throwing a pick tonight. Everybody's going to go Purdy. And I get it. I totally get it. But I think San Francisco might have a little something tonight. And I think it might be a slow start. And I think Goff might throw a pick early in this game. I feel it in the first half. Throwing a pick minus 105.
Can you imagine? I can't remember the dude's name who refused to play. Can you imagine if he's sitting at home and they pull guys out? I'd be tweeting a storm. I would just be having the fingers just going. Sit at home, you turkey. Suspended 3 games, no money, no pay because you didn't want to go in the game. When you still had a shot at the playoffs, be better. By the way, line of the night, guys, in the chat. Cam, I believe it's from Brian. Cam Ward not playing tonight for the 49ers. Oh, my Monday. I couldn't believe that. Oh, I don't want Cam Ward playing for my team. And he won't. All right, AB, great job, big boy. All right, Raphael, just coming right down to you because you like Brock Purdy. And then also a guy that we're going to look at a little bit more in depth here in a second, the only running back now for the Lions because David Montgomery is out, and that's Jahmyr Gibbs. Talk to me.
Yeah, Brock Purdy under 33.5 passing attempts minus 3 nickels. This is a very popular bet for him. He's cashed his ticket 4 out of 5 games and 10 out of 14. In his last 5 home games, he hasn't even gone over this number. So I think it's going to be around 30. Shop around. There's a 31.5 out there. There's 3 numbers, 31.5, 32.5 and the 33.5. So shop around and get the best number. I think he goes under all three of them, so I'm taking that one. And then give me Gibbs over 16.5 rushing attempts. This line open at 20.5. He's going to be fed the ball because you said Montgomery's not playing, but he had a really good game his last game against with Montgomery not playing. Got 23 carries and 106 yards. I think he has the same type of carries and the same type of yardage. I think he has a big game today.
And I think you could be correct. Shout out to my girl Melanie. Good evening, Coach. Welcome back. Thank you. Haven't forgot about you. It was a little bit busy this week, but I got you covered tomorrow. Tomorrow it'll be in the mail for you. All right, DG, coming over to you. You also are on the Gibbs and Purdy train. You're up.
These two plays, yeah, they're better than Seabass's skirt steak. I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs over 12.5 on the longest rush. It's at -118. San Francisco allows the seventh most, the longest receptions to the running back position. And he's had 20-plus long receptions in the last two games. So I expect him to go over this. They're going to need him through the air. And then we're going to go with Brock Purdy. All we need him to do is just run like little twinkle toes Mayfield does. Over 18.5 rush yards at -110. Detroit plays man-to-man. They also allow the third most rushing yards to the quarterback position. And honestly, the last 5 quarterbacks with this line has went way over their number with an average of 14.2 yards. I like Brock Purdy to go crazy tonight on the running.
Wow. I love the analysis because when you play man-to-man and your back's turned to the line of scrimmage, you don't know when a guy's taking off, and he does run it pretty well. By the way, guys, speaking of quarterbacks, you know who has it great right now? Do you know who hasn't? Is it any better? I have the Knicks and Wizards game on right now on NBA League Pass. Guess who's sitting in the front row right now tonight live? Any guesses?
Jaden Daniels.
Oh, there you go. Ding, 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 ding. And he's looking happy. He's the king of DC. He always shows up after a big win. Funny how that works. How do you think he gets those first row tickets? If you know, then you know. By the way, Seabass is in the chat. Any questions for him? And there's been no football tonight. It's all about his steak, the skirt steak, but you got to add the chimichurri. You can't have without chimichurri. All right, let's compare the running backs and then the wide receivers tonight. Jahmyr Gibbs and AB, he needs to not only have a big game, but he's got to stay healthy because he's now the featured guy. There's no more 1-2 punch in Detroit. Montgomery's out for the year. Then you got on the 49ers, this is like their fourth version of a featured back in Isaac Guerendo. Anything jump off the page to you?
The numbers are high, right? Like Jahmyr Gibbs straight rushing, I think that's a lot. Rushing and receiving could be a whole lot. Same thing on San Francisco's side. Same deal. I think both these quarterbacks, both these running backs are going to be used way more in the pass game than they are on the ground. Now, they will get handoffs. Don't get me wrong. But you brought up a good point, Coach. All right, especially for Detroit. You can't just break Jahmyr Gibbs in half in this game. Right? It's a lot safer to catch a screen pass than it is to go up that A gap. All right. So yeah, I like rushing and receiving more than straight rushing.
He may be the only guy, DG, that behind closed doors, the coaching staff said to Dan Campbell, hey, we get it. We know you want to go out there and show out, but that guy Gibbs, we need him in 2 weeks. We really need him in 2 weeks. So I think his under with attempts is where my eyes are going right now.
Yeah, the under on the attempts is the first thing I looked at as well, but he's been flying way over this number. I'm just curious if you're just kind of playing a game of chicken at this point. Like, are we going to keep running him into the wall of linebackers, or are we going to give him a break off? So I really like that to go under on the total yards for both guys, because I don't see Isaac Guerendo being a kind of a bell cow for them, just in all honesty. So I like through the air, as I've said all night, and I expect these guys to go under their numbers. I wouldn't doubt if they go over, or I'm sorry, an under on every single number tonight.
It does kind of feel that way, because on the 49ers side, Raphael, if I'm Debo and I'm George Kittle and I want the ball the last couple, I don't know if I'm going to be playing with all these guys for another season or two. So Isaac Guerendo, you got no stroke. But I know this, Raphael, I'm not laying -235 for Gibbs to score a touchdown. I ain't going there.
No, there's no value on that, but there's value on now on the under because the public is betting this game under. There's 149, well, now 249 and a half that just popped up. So the public is betting the under, and money continues to come in on Detroit money line because now books have minus 260 on the money line, so they're taking the money. Gibbs, his number opened up at 87 and a half. It's now 83 and a half. Shop around. ESPN bet has 79 and a half. This is probably one of the most popular bet of under running coming in on Gibbs rushing and rushing attempts. So it's kind of curious, but I do like Isaac rushing attempts over 14 and a half.
God, every time I listen to Raphael AB, I feel bad for other shows, other brands that don't have a numbers guy or a producer or creativity. I mean, you can talk about anybody. You know what I mean, AB? You know what I mean?
Anybody. Now, I'll say this real quick, and I don't know if any books you can find it, but if you got one of those just strange books that has everything, if you think you want to talk about rushing attempts, if you think Jared Goff comes out of this game, especially early, their backup quarterback is a dude named Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker will run it 1,000 times if he comes in. I'm just telling you, take it even if you think Jared Goff finishes the game. It is literally free money if you can find his rushing attempts, because I swear to God, he will run it every single time.
You might have to dive deep for that one.
Yeah.
You would have to really shop around to get Hookers anything. That came out so completely wrong. All right, let's flip it over now to the wideouts. And you got two All-Pros. One is an actual wide receiver, and then you got George Kittle, who can do it all. And George Kittle is the guy that really put Dan Campbell over this week. They weren't even asked questions about his own team. That's how much nobody cares. But George Kittle cares. He's a pro. AB, let me come right back to you, because Amon-Ra St. Brown, you know he's a dude, whether he's blocking or catching, he's not coming out.
No. And I'll tell you this, I like the longest reception for both of these guys. These are two consummate professionals. They're going to give you everything they've got, whether you're playing for a Super Bowl, you're playing for the toilet bowl. That was the worst dad joke of all time. But these guys will give it to you. You know what I mean? And you've got big numbers there for receiving yards, even though I don't hate it. I don't hate receptions, but I like the longest reception, man, because both quarterbacks will take shots, especially this game could get strange in the second half. There could be some weird things going on. You know what I mean? Like, just basic that longest reception, I'm down with it on both of these guys.
The last time you said that, it was 36-30 Bucks and Falcons when he thought it was going to be 12-9. Yeah. So take that with a grain of salt. DG, coming over to you, big boy, because I'm looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown and his receptions because I watch and pay attention to the no-fly zone. I know that Goff doesn't take it down the field quite a bit, and he's one of the very few A-list wide receivers that's not scared to go down, turn around at 8 yards, catch one, and take a hit. So that's where I'm headed with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown can get you those receptions of going, 7 there, but that longest reception, just as AB was talking about, that is in play because you can give him a 10-yard just kind of slant, and he could go for 30 or 40 because the yards after catch are crazy. I really do like his receptions. I'm down with Kittle's receptions as well. Detroit is pretty good against the tight end position, but I think that when you're throwing it that much, I think Kittle's in play as well. So I like both these guys to go over their reception numbers tonight.
Interesting. You are very, very against the grain tonight, DG. I want to see if all this plays out. I really, really do. Because leave it to you to leave a video on Twitter. You don't think I saw that? I saw that. Don't think that I didn't. It wasn't like my phone was off. I'll get you later. Raphael, let me come over to you, big boy. Because every time I come to you, the number has changed somewhere else. Do you see anything here? And has anything else changed?
It's pretty flat right now, but St. Brown has the most prop bets written out of anybody in this game. So everyone likes him either over or under, but he has the most tickets written. George Kittle has monster Monday Night Football games, and I think the public realized that that's why his anytime TD opened up at plus 160, now at plus 130, so everyone's jumping on that. But I think Kittle has a good game.
Maybe I hate because I really want to play the Lions, and I can't play them. I thought about the money line, but I'm not going to lay 200. And I thought about buying it to 3, which is what I probably do. Does anybody else have an issue, AB, I'll start with you, playing a prop against a team that you're playing the team on the spread? In my mind, I just hate doing it.
Yeah, I do it with interceptions all the time. Like, yeah, 100%, man. Like, you could definitely do that. Like, if you like the Lions, that's what you're saying, right?
Yes, I love the Lions tonight, minus the 3. I'm going to buy it's like minus 140 at my book.
Yeah. So I would say like a good one is to play, like, if you like the Lions, you could play pass attempts with Goff, or you could play the longest reception, because that's why I like longest completion, because if they're up big, he's throwing some bomb touchdowns. If they're down, he's throwing it deep all night. They're not going to run the football, right? Like, you could find little correlations there. I'm with you. No, like, that's a great point. Absolutely.
I think a lot of people, DG, that's why some people love either just doing props or just doing sides, because you become very, very conflicted. But you do both all the time. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so if you like the Lions, for example, as you do, and I do as well, I'm not going to target the running backs for the opposing team, because I think that doesn't correlate as well. But if you like the wide receivers, that correlates, because you got to expect the other team has to be down, and so they're going to be throwing it more. So everything can correlate. It's all about the game plan. And in all honesty, I learned this a long time ago from AB, just kind of writing out the game and kind of seeing how it plays out. And the only way it plays out in my favor is if Detroit winning, and then the San Francisco has to throw the ball.
Okay. Very, very good. By the way, on the Monday morning show, we do Monday mishaps. Shout out to Brian. It's a classic coach. What are you doing? He said it's a late Monday mishap. He has a dentist appointment tomorrow at 9:45, right when DTL is on. How stupid am I, he says.
Anybody want to New Year's Eve?
Apparently so.
Dude,
apparently so.
Apparently that dentist likes you, because they're on the banker's hours, boy. You can't ever find them things open.
Oh my God. Brian's in there going, I gotta listen to DTL. My dentist lets me put earphones in. So I would just hit the podcast and listen, to the audio. That's what I would do, Brian, but that's just me. All right. Great job, gentlemen, comparing the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the receivers. By the way, don't forget, no show Thursday night, no primetime Thursday game this week. We will have Sunday night counting down to the Lions and the Vikings. And then, as Raphael reminded us in the pre-show meeting, there is a Monday game in the playoffs, correct, Raphael? Wild card games. So no more Monday and Thursdays next week, but we'll have a Monday show after that. Oh, then tomorrow we got playoffs, and we got college football playoffs. Man, it's great to be back. It really, really is. All right, we got a few more things to do before we get the hell out of Dodge and enjoy this game here tonight. Now, I see the live number. It's absolutely amazing. It's a number that you guys can't see in the chat. So that means there's a lot of people that were not here at the top of the show. So I'm going to allow my guys to go back through every pick, 10 seconds or less, one nugget, maybe two. Let's start with our straight plays, AB. Start us off, sir.
49ers team touchdowns over 2.5. All right, we're going to let it rip, man. I think that the 49ers can put some points, whether they're playing with a lead or way behind their quarterback. This is literally $100 million game for our guy. All right, yeah, play the touchdowns over 2.5.
Raphael, you're up.
7-point tees minus 140, giving the Lions plus 3.5 and over 43.5. I think the Lions take care of business. They have a great Monday Night Football record that continues tonight.
DG, the Lions, in your mind, not only are going to stop this ridiculous losing streak in San Francisco, but do it in style.
Yeah, we're going top shelf plays tonight, and it's going to be the Lions at minus 6.5. I like them just to win by a touchdown tonight. I got this at plus 148.
Boom. Let's go over to the prop section of the show. AP, you got 3 plays. Let's go.
Debo Samuel, 49ers, over 4.5 receptions. We're also going to go Jared Goff, over 1.5 rush attempts. Come on, JG. Let's do it, baby. Also, sorry, buddy, you thought a pick, too. We're going to take it at minus 105.
Raphael.
Poor Goff. Brock Purdy under 33.5 passing attempts, minus 3 nickels. I think he goes under off 5 straight home games. He's hit this prop under, and then give me Gibbs over 60.5 rushing attempts, minus 110. He has a big game on rushing attempts, but he also has a big game rushing and receiving yards. Take a shot at that.
All right, very good. DG, you're up.
Did somebody say receiving yards? Let's go with Jahmyr Gibbs over 12.5 as the longest receptions at minus 118. And then we like Brock Purdy as well. Get on his twinkle toes, baby, and run out of the backfield going against that man-to-man. Go over the 18.5 rush yards at minus 110.
Speaking of twinkle toes, do not forget tomorrow morning on the show, Super Salad. Peyton and Soupy go toe-to-toe with their prize picks. By the way, Seminole 5, interesting question. We can vote on it right here, right now. He says, Coach, live show for the college football natty. I think we have to. Don't you guys? It's still 3 weeks away. I think we have to.
Yeah.
Even though Indiana won't be in it, DG. My bad. What are you drinking over there, AB? What are you doing?
Well, I was going to say, number one, I'm in. Number two, these bots are going to get smoked in real time. And then number three, all right, this is the move. Not a drink. It's gummy worms. All right. That's the way to do it right there.
Oh, you never know. The swerve. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached that time of the show. We really, truly have. Now, I know that I missed, 7-8 days, but it wasn't like I wasn't paying attention. And we were coming to the end of a season, and you all really thought that your boy, the coach, was going to allow all of you and your leader, Japan, to make all of those jokes about your boy not kicking it, popping bottles in the club? Oh, no. So, ladies and gentlemen, right here, right now, I would like to show you an image of your boy just recently after cashing for the very first time. Producer man, if you don't mind. Oh, nobody's doing it with me? How good did the goatee look? How good did the fade look? Oh, and by the way, Raphael, I am now also security in the club and not allowing anybody in to hang out with me and DG and AB. I will flip on a dime once I get in. You guys like security?
I think Coach needs to go first tonight. I think he's earned it.
I agree.
How about the guy that has no gems? Can he go first?
No.
This is not pity gems.
Yeah.
I'll take a pity gem.
You will not find pity here, son.
No, we don't. You got to earn your way in, Raphael. I mean, I say it all the time. I was just kind of biding my time. So, AB, I appreciate the respect. And DG, you can sit your 4 gym ass down over there right now. All right. And I'm right smack down. Thank you, AB. I'm right in the middle. And I'm going to go with the boy I just said. I literally just said, I can't go against the Lions, and I picked George Kittle plus 1,100. All I know is that he finds the end zone. And I think tonight the Lions will take a little bit of time to get things going. So I'm going to go reverse, and I think George Kittle plus 1,100. I've got new goals now, AB, and that is to catch DG by the end of the season. That's my goal. I kind of evolve. I've changed. So I got to get 3 more. I think we can do it too. Appreciate the respect, gentlemen. Really, really do. And Japan, don't try any more jokes. The jokes are done. You can't make a joke about a second gym. I gave you 16 weeks. Sit down. Now, DG, come on over to you. Respect, because the only way that I knew, because I didn't watch a lot, I'll be honest, I was sitting in a hotel or a hospital room, but you took the time out of your very busy schedule as a dad to record a video for little old me when you got your 4th gym. You're up, sir.
Coach, you might know what this is. It's called No Chance in Hell. Are you catching me on this one? But San Francisco is 7-7 in first touchdowns, with 5 of those going to the wide receiver. Sounds great. Not for you, though. But then Detroit is 11-4 in the first touchdowns. The problem is 9 of the 11 went to the running back position. Coach, if you're thinking I'm scared, no, it's just get right times. Let's go through the air. Deep ball, Jameson Williams plus 1,100 and get back into the club for the 5th time.
I got to be honest. And I'm not saying it wasn't fair. I'm not, the rules are the rules. But I was in the air when the email went out. And Jameson Williams is exactly the guy that I wanted to have. And by the time I got off the plane, AB was gone. DG had Jameson Williams, and Raphael put in another loser. So it is what it is. All right. So I've gone DG. AB, you're looking for number 3 tonight, big boy. Who do you like?
I am, Coach. And I'll tell you what, I made a trip here, all right, just for this game. You see this? All right. We've got the jewelry safe protection box right here. And I ain't kidding. All right. Protected because we're picking up that third tonight. We're going to do it with Deebo Samuel. And I'll tell you this, everybody in the chat, right? Coach, right now, if Deebo Samuel hits, all right, first touchdown tonight, tomorrow, I'm not even on the show, but I'll be in the chat. We'll pick 2 people. I'll Venmo you $50 just because Deebo is that dude. So just write Coach. That's all you got to do. Deebo, get the job done tonight. And I'll get our jewelry, all right, to the bank. Don't worry.
You know what, AB? I would hate for you to do that alone. I mean, I had a little comeback today on the Missouri money line, so I made a little cash today, and it was exactly $100. So I will do the same thing that you just did. And if George Kittle hits tonight and you write AB into the chat, I will Venmo 2 people tomorrow $50 if George Kittle hits tonight. I love how this thing works. I feel like how the chat feels every time when Robert Bibbo, our resident benefactor, does the you get 5, you get 5, you get 5. All right. So we got 2 Venmos on the line.
Wait.
Tomorrow.
Oh, hold on. I don't mean to interrupt, but I do. Okay, because I want to let you know this real quick.
Oh no! What does he have? What does he have?
Look at this. A second box. That's how many we're getting tonight. Don't even worry about it, son. Let's get down. Raphael, apologies. Coach, introduce.
Raphael, you're up, big boy.
You know, I'm going to follow that. And if Sam Laporta gets in, I will Venmo nobody because I'm calling off tomorrow because I'm not going to be here tomorrow because I'm still going to be clubbing tomorrow. So take that.
I would love to know what Raphael looks like at 4:30 in the morning, still in the club, shirts hanging out, belts undone, hairs everywhere, 5 o'clock shadow, and he goes, "My dog, I got it, my dog." Oh, I can see it all right now.
I'm going to a
Tina
different
will
club.
have him
I'm going to have
kicked out
glitter
way
all
before
over me.
that.
I'm going to a different club.
Oh, you're going to be in the only club by yourself. We're going to be over in our club. You're going to be, like that New Year's Eve party that nobody goes to. That's Raphael. All right, producer man, who is also very, very, I think the word pissed would be apropos at this point that he's not in the club. He's taking AB's boy, Juwan Jennings. This is actually a pretty good pick.
Great pick. Juwan Jennings is a great pick. This is Juwan Jennings type of game. All right. When you got to get ugly, get in the mud, go to win one, he's the dog, dude. That's exactly who you want. 3rd and Juwan, baby.
By the way, shout out to Matt. He says, I don't know about Raphael's hair being everywhere in the club. Oh, my gosh. Matt takes a stray at DG. Let me find it. He says that DG sounded so confident. But all of you putting AB and Coach, I can't even get back to it. Basically, DG, he said that your take sounded like it was plus 2,000 when really it was very chalky.
It was chalky, but honestly, there was nobody to choose from that wasn't chalky, except for if you went way, way on out there. So I had to go a little chalky tonight.
All right. By the way, Mark, our resident NHL guy, who started putting plays out on not only Weekend Wagers, but on the show at break time. If you watch live on YouTube, you get those 50 memberships. He's going to gift, guys, if I hit tonight with George Kittle. 50. Let's go. Raphael, you look so cheap right now compared to everybody else. You really do.
I'm getting my first gem on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, my God. Do you know where I'm going to be on Super Bowl Sunday?
Where?
I'm going to be doing the Phoenix Open for PGA Tour Live. It's always
where they
Super
run
Bowl.
on the course.
What's that?
Is that the one where they run on the course?
Yeah, 500,000 people. It's the highest rated attended,
It's awesome.
and I'll be doing it, and so DG might have to host that night. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a morning. We haven't figured it out yet, but yeah, I'll be doing the Phoenix Open. So I'll be in Florida. Might have to do it outside of the friendly confines, but that's what we do, boys. We are everywhere. Simply what we do, gentlemen. Well done. Missed you. Let's get it going. All right, producer man, thank you for the one shot. Everybody in the chat, on your way out, hit that like button for us. Remember, tomorrow morning, live show. Also, you can see us on Stadium at 3 p.m. Eastern time every single weekday as well. But you know what time it is. It's time for you to go out into the world, for you to enjoy the game tonight. Spend it with your family. It's still a holiday week. We've only got one single solitary day left in 2024 before your boys and your crew start to dominate in 2025. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lambo, my man from Memphis, Tennessee, DG. My numbers guy, Raphael. My partner, AB. Producer man, always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. Seabass in the chat, our only 5-star chef in the game. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. George Kittle, let's get this thing done. It's what we're all about every single day, including primetime right here at DTL. Good luck.